Hey everyone, how are we all doing? Okay, so before we get started, everything I say in this video is my opinion, mine alone. Please feel free to do your own research and come to your own conclusions. With that being said, let's just dive into this video, shall we? Okay, first off, I want to address the video I made about Katie. And one of the comments I got was, you honestly don't see anything wrong with KJ not telling her husband about the essay until she was on the internet. KJ told a group of countless strangers that her husband was accused of essaying her essaying of this son before actually telling her husband, for one of two reasons. She either wanted to catch the reaction live or he knew, and it was all for show, proving they were using this horrific accusation for entertainment. Here's what I got to say about that. When I heard that Katie and her husband had been reported to CPS, it was confirmed who did it. I decided from that point on that I will not be making any videos on Katie. What was done to her, and more importantly, that little boy, was disgusting. If CPS had believed the claims that were made, that little boy would have had to go through medical exams. Then he would go through a million questions just to find out if these allegations were true or false. Add on to that, this little boy has autism and numerous medical conditions. For this reason, I do not want to add any more stress to this family. I do not want to be the one who pushes that button where someone can no longer cope. And I will not be the person who makes them push that button, however they do it. I couldn't imagine how much stress she was in hearing that. The fact that it was confirmed that Nat did it, the fact she admitted to doing it, was disturbing in itself. I will never ever be responsible for pushing somebody over the edge. Ever. Katie is no angel. Actually, she's pretty shitty. And she's done some really shitty things on the internet. How she raises her son and how I raise mine may be totally different. And it is not my place to judge. I can say that I think she's wrong. I can believe that she's wrong or right or whatever, it doesn't matter. But when someone admits to you that they called CPS and they accused your husband of doing this to your son, the amount of stress that she was probably going through right then would have been insane. And my heart broke for that little boy. What if CPS and the police turned up at Katie's house and said, we're taking him until we can prove that these are lies? Because CPS do things like that. And then that little boy would be in the system. And God only knows when he'd go home. if he'd go home. CPS can be pretty shitty. Anyways, moving on. Dottie Morgan, this one is for you. I did think about playing your rant, but I'm sorry, but I do not want a potty mouth on my channel. But let me introduce myself to you. My name is Paris. I got diagnosed with multiple personality disorder 10 years ago. No, 15 years ago. That's what it's called back then. Today it's called DID. And from what you was explaining DID to be, and to what I know that DID is, are two different ball games. By now you're probably aware that Nat has admitted to the threats. Well, she's admitted to the calls to CPS. I'm not sure exactly what else she's admitted to. But she's admitted to pretty much a good portion of it. And I'm going to assume that she is responsible for the rest. You, along with her, has put some other YouTubers through hell and back. You're probably thinking, what the fuck have I done? And that would be completely understandable. You thought you knew someone. Didn't know them for long, but you thought you knew her. This person who turned up decided she was part of the court case. Done everything she could to get involved in it. And then slowly but surely started sending everyone and anyone threats, death threats. Some of them were extremely scary. And there are a few people who went through hell and back because of her. And I would say you owe some people an apology, but I highly doubt that you will do it. Since your answer to anybody talking about Nat was to curse them out. Maybe that's where your vocabulary is limited to. But it was pretty bad. And I do think you owe Charlotte an apology. This person you've been calling a friend has put Charlotte through hell. Charlotte hasn't been able to eat or sleep or anything because of the threats that she was getting. At some point she realised who it was. But she never mentioned their name. Yet Nat went after her for her. Nat came to you when she was shouting and screaming that Charlotte was talking about her. Kind of ironic, really, isn't it? She comes running to you when Charlotte doesn't even mention her name. None of you stop for a second just to find out if she is talking about Nat. Because Charlotte could have been talking about the rebirth of Jesus Christ for all you knew. Wouldn't have stopped you going off on a rant to her. But you did. And then you got this one that was recently deleted, and now you're striking people for putting up your words in a song. AZ was pretty talented, to be honest with you. She done rather well with your words. But the whole purpose we're here is because of Nat. And the fact that you thought she needed you to take her under your wing when she really mugged you all off, didn't she? So there's either 1 or 2 outcomes from this. Either there was several of you, Nat, Little Miss Noble, Rakin, you, and I'm not quite sure who else yet. But I'm going to try and think for the best and think, no, you wouldn't have been involved with that. I'm going to assume that you wouldn't get involved in something like that. And I hope that I'm right by assuming so. But please be aware that this person has put Charlotte and several other people through absolute hell. And you're still defending them. I don't want to think that you was part of that group. I don't. But unless you say something like, I was not involved, I knew absolutely nothing about it. And please try to be convincing. Then we're going to all have to assume that you were part of it. So I'm going to leave that one up to you. And it's late. I, like Nat, is in the UK. Oh, and let me just add a few things. You said that something had happened to Nat 2 times this year alone. As I said, I'm also in the UK. The UK has been on lockdown since Christmas Day. 6 PM Christmas Day to be exact. We are not yet currently fully open back up. We still have partial lockdowns here. So when she was saying that happened to her through the dating site, so you know what I'm talking about, it's not possible. Because we have literally been in lockdown since Christmas Day at 6 PM. And the rest of the country still hasn't opened fully up yet. We still have a fair amount of lockdown still going. So I would definitely question Nat on that one. And the explanation she gave you with DID, I don't know if she got that out of a fairy tale. The unicorn makes me think so. But it's not how it works, I'm sorry. So may I suggest you go and have a chat with your friend and ask her to stop telling you a load of BS. And maybe then we can come to the conclusion of what is actually going on. So, to anyone who's watched this video all the way, thank you very much. Please do like, share and subscribe. And I shall see you all in the next video. Bye.